there's a couple of things here actually. So our Goongarrie project is made up of two large license areas, I should say, one to the north and one to the south. So the license in the northern area, this is covered by a significant amount of lake sediment, so about 100 metres of cover. And drilling was done here in the 2021 by King West. Now there is a very large footprint of gold mineralisation there at the base of the channel. And what that tells us there is potential for a very large deposit beneath that. However, probably a fair bit of homework needs to be done on the geological controls, structural controls on that gold mineralisation beneath the lake cover before we want to tackle any drilling there. And the second thing is on our southern licence, the drilling there, especially in the target areas we're testing in the next few weeks, hasn't been drilled since about 2000s. So that was done by Goldfields, and then they had a joint venture with Redback Mining. Now, this work was never followed up, and back then, I guess also early 2000s, so the gold price was, roughly $300. It's now over 3,000. So there's the difference, and that's the great opportunity, and that's why we're targeting this area first. Gorilla Gold have been having great success lately out at Lakeview, and they're certainly showing that these mineralised systems along this Bardoc Tectonic Zone have got significant potential for the depth extension, and that really hasn't been tested in our district either. So just further south on our Goongarrie prospects, these certainly haven't been tested at depth. And as I mentioned before, the drilling that was done by Goldfields in the 2000s, certainly at Duke of York and Star of Goongarrie, that's only down to about 60, 70 metres depth. So, they're only just touching the surface there. So we do know that these mineralisations continue significantly at depth, and that's what we're certainly looking to test. Initially, we're going to follow up the original results, but nonetheless, we know this district has got great potential. It's just not been well tested. And the other piece about Lakeview is it is on a northwest structure. And we do see these structures, parallel structures, on our licence. The other interesting piece is on our northern tenement, the northwest structure that actually runs through Lakeview runs straight through Sir Lawrence as well. So that's a really interesting piece, and we're certainly diving more into the geophysics around that to understand that better, and that may also help us target the Sir Lawrence mineralisation in fresh rock at a later time. But for now, we're just going to focus on Duke of York and Star of Goongarrie. So initially, we'll be undertaking RC drilling, and this is really going to be testing the orientation of the mineralisation, so the orientation of the veins beneath old workings, and also to validate historical drill holes. We'll be validating their location for one, and for two, validating the assay results. So that information should then help us to build a good geological mineralisation model to then get going and plan the next phase of drilling. Yeah, I think with this gold price, there's certainly a lot of activity we're seeing in the gold space, which is great. There's certainly much opportunity for consolidation of ground in the area, and certainly also for company mergers, I think. Still, there should be a bit of that going on in the future. So I think there's still more opportunity for investment in the junior space. We are seeing that, people are having a bit more confidence around certainly the gold miners and the mid-tiers, but still that investment hasn't quite filtered down to the junior space. But I think confidence is coming back to the market with this gold price. It's a great opportunity, especially for juniors that can prove up resources quickly if they're close enough to surface. Certainly potential for open cut resources, open cut pits, and getting to mining quicker than we've probably aimed to do in the past. And you see that happening a lot lately in the goldfields with specialist mining companies, doing deals with junior explorers so that they can then advance the projects, obtain an income, and then further advance their exploration. So, that's a great strategy that's happening a lot in the goldfields at the moment.